Good morning and welcome inside the locker room. It's time to get into the teak of everything sports this morning. Good morning, Tega.
You had to do that then. Good morning, everybody. Oh, cold, cold, cold. Yes, so they're trying to freeze me in the locker room today. I don't understand it. But good morning, everybody. Welcome to the locker room. What's happening in the world of sports? Oh, yes. They are set to do what do you call it in there? You know what people call Ojoro. We started to see it at the Euros. We didn't see this thing at AFCON. All I'm saying is so far, AFCON 2, Euros 0. All right, so we'll talk about the Euros and we'll talk about what the Euro Tega saw because Tega can see things. We'll talk about that. We'll also touch a little bit. I forgot to mention the NBA finals. Yes, and I'm going to offend some people today because Boston Celtics are world champions. You can cry in the privacy of your room, but they're world champions. That's what I'm calling them. All right, so we'll talk about that a little bit. We'll also touch on the fallout between Victor Osimhen and Finidi George. And then we'll talk about tennis because Wimbledon is coming, so there are tournaments before Wimbledon. That's happening right now. So we'll talk about all of those and more in the locker room today. But before we do any talking, because I don't want to be talking alone, Omatseye, can you tell us how we can be a part of the locker room this morning?
Before I get us started on that, let's inform you that the locker room is brought to you specially by Dano Milk. Let's get into how you can be part of the conversation right away. Send us a message that's on the WhatsApp platform onto 0809-444-0981 will be where we shall be reading all the messages you sent related to sports this morning. And then, of course, you can race down to youtube.com/smooth981FM and then find us there, subscribe, leave a message there. We're sure to pick up the messages. That's it, Tega. What's next?
All right. So should we run through the headlines and then we'll take the story here?
On the bill this morning, Finidi. NFF acts Dangles on Osimhen, opens disciplinary proceedings as there would be Thompson Hera will not defend 200 meters title in Paris as Alcaraz starts Queen's defense with a win. And then Portugal hero Consacho earned it. Coach Martinez is the one speaking. Then Mbappe uncertain for France Euro 2024 clash with Netherlands as Sagno believes Georgia's growing pain will pay off eventually as Messi takes center stage again for Copa America. And then there would be Belgium's confident of Euro 2024 turnaround against Romania.
All right, so those are the stories we're going to be looking at. I think I skipped the NBA. Yeah, the Boston Celtics, yes, won the championship. It wasn't yesterday. It was the early hours of the night before. Against the Dallas Mavericks. The disappointing Dallas Mavericks, I would say. I'm not saying that the Boston Celtics shouldn't have eventually won the championship. I'm just saying Dallas Mavericks played this brilliant basketball to get to the finals, and then they lost shamefully. And so the finals didn't deliver what I expected it to deliver. The finals, it came, it was poor. The Mavericks didn't show up in, I would say, in their full strength or in their full glory. But Boston Celtics, the best team in the NBA all season, because in the regular season they were the best. And then they get to the playoffs, they were also the best team in the playoffs. A well-deserved championship. So yeah, Boston Celtics are now 18-time world champions. Lakers, how market?
What, they're just one better than the Lakers anyway.
Lakers, how market? Which one is one better? If easy, do it.
Shall we go to the glass house because the truth
yeah, let's go to the glass house. Let's go to the glass house.
All right. The Nigerian Football Federation, NFF, will in the coming days charge the first choice striker of the Super Eagles, Victor Osimhen, for improper conduct over his verbal attack on the former coach of the senior national team, Finidi George.
Yeah, so they say they are opening a disciplinary committee to look into this. I don't know what that's the thing about this disciplinary committee though. I don't know what the punishments is like. You don't know the set of rules, you don't know the set of laws. There's no precedent of the disciplinary committee. You see the misconduct and you see consequences. I don't know the official channels. I just know that sometimes some people can just be cut off from the team. So you don't you do anyhow, you see anyhow. Some people can just be cut off with it. So that usually there's no official disciplinary, set of rules or instructions that we can say, okay, based on this precedent that was set, this is what we should expect. So let's wait to hear what the disciplinary committee will say at the end of the day. But I think I'm a little disappointed in Victor Osimhen. Don't get me wrong, I shouldn't be disappointed because disappointment is for something you expect better of. But I'm a little disappointed in the sense that this happened and now it has come out that maybe he was acting on wrong information. Now, instead of this boy to either be quiet, to either go and try to, talk to the coach or talk to somebody, or even come out to say, okay, I may have overreacted to misinformation. Guess what he's been doing all over social media? He's been trying to do PR.
Doing giveaways?
Not which giveaway. He's been trying to do, what, how they do subtle PR. Next thing you see me, I'm hanging out with this person, or I'm doing this with that person, almost as if I'm going to just keep living my life. And just the wrong approach to what he has done already. And it's quite disappointing. I think even the people, it's not just the people around it, because he obviously doesn't listen to a lot of people. That's what it tells me. From the video, you could tell that there were a few people here and there saying, don't do this, do that. And he wasn't listening to anybody. So maybe he takes his own counsel, but his counsel right now is foolish. And there's just pictures of him trying to, flex or live his life. I saw one the other day with some popular influencer that you people like to watch, because I don't know what people watch about it. That guy that shouts all over the place. Yeah, I don't know what he's doing. He's just shouting. And I saw that one. Then I saw the one of the popular guy that was in prison for a few weeks. He sent pictures to him or videos to him about something, and I was just like, calm down. Judge Finidi had already said that you did call him to talk to him about the doctor's report. So there's no need releasing video, because Judge Finidi has already confirmed that conversation happened. Again, you reacted to the statement or something. You're trying to do all this rubbish PR, and that's what I call it, very stupid PR.
But Tega, those who put out that wrong, let's talk to ourselves, the media now. What are they saying?
That's what he put out now. It's his content. The media cannot speak on Victor's behalf. The media will just put out what Victor is doing.
Triggered him, so it's triggered. But I agreed, it was overreaction. So they were expected better.
So I don't know how. I'm not the one that put out the story. He reacted to a story. Now it's been discovered that story was wrong. The media's job is just to run with content
that can set a sector or a country on fire. Just imagine if that was easy.
Yeah, but that's not the media. That's a few people in the media. If you say the media, you're not talking.
What can we do?
There's nothing I can do. There's laws for fake news. Okay. There's laws for that. So those people carry out the laws. Okay. But when you say the media, there was one set group of people that did it. Yeah. Don't say the media, because the media now involves me. I am part of the media, and I didn't do anything to incite Victor Osimhen. And I've been saying all day that Victor Osimhen should even have waited to react. So now he's reacting to something wrong, and instead of him to do something, the correct thing, he's now doing. I think the foolishness of it's not damage control, because it's just foolish. It's all I'm going to say about it.
Anyway, moving on to Jamaica, let's see what it looked like this morning. Jamaica's five-time Olympic champion, Ellen Thompson-Herah, will not defend a 200-meter title in this summer's games in Paris.
Yeah, and this is another thing that is plaguing athletes these days. Injuries. So Elaine Thompson looked like she picked up an injury recently. And remember, the Olympics is just a few weeks away, maybe about a month away, less than a month away. And so I think she's checked with her body, and she's now realized, okay, I cannot participate in all the disciplines I wanted to participate. So she's still going to run the 100 meters, but she's not going to go the distance over the 200 meters. So that's really sad because the 200 meters is where she should have her title defense. Also the 400-meter hurdler from America, she picked up a nasty injury earlier in the year, and she thought she'd recover in time. At the end of the day, even if she qualified for the 400 meters, even if she qualified for the 200 meters, now she's only going to focus on the 400-meter hurdle. So a lot of athletes are just struggling with these injuries. Body's not recovering in time, and I don't know how this is going to affect the Olympics. First of all, on the tennis end, we're seeing athletes pull out. Ons came out to say that her body can't take any more beating. Aryna Sabalenka, also body can't take out any more beating. Emma Raducanu, we know her history of injuries.
Emma.
So, exactly. So even when she was extended the ticket, she was like, no, I can't take it. Now, the thing about Emma Raducanu, she's still very young and she still has another opportunity to go to another Olympics. But yeah, injuries plaguing athletes a lot. How many athletes are we really going to see at the Olympics? That one waits to
But it looks so Naomi is having a good time too. From what we see, she's got Nishikori, they're heading in that direction.
Yeah, I think she's going to make it. But yeah, it's just I'm not even talking. There's going to be some big names there. Djokovic has confirmed that he's going to be at the Olympics, so there's still going to be one or two big names. It's just that a plethora of athletes are struggling with injuries, and the Olympics may lose that.
All right, let's touch base with Carlos, the Spaniard Carlos Alcaraz continued where he left off on the British grass by starting his Queen's title defense with a straight set victory over Argentines Francisco Cerundolo.
Yeah, so Carlos Alcaraz has been deceiving people since last year that he doesn't know how to, you know, his words, his exact words is, I'm still learning to play on grass. Uncle. That's how you be learning and beating everybody.
Leonard doing big things.
Exactly. Leonard that is driving in F1. Well done. So, of course, he's back to defend his title. Okay. So you understand what I say? He has been lying to people since because he's defending a title. He's not just participating. And so he started his title defense in Queens yesterday with that win. Brilliant first set, almost kind of walls through the first set, but the second set was a little tricky, got broken, and then had to break Cerundolo back when Cerundolo was 7 for the set. So he was able to dispatch him in straight sets. I like the fact that you know how it works. Just before Wimbledon, there's Halle, there's
Nottingham and different places.
And so I like the fact that the top ranked players kind of separated themselves because Yannick Sinner, who is world number 1, is playing in Halle, and he, who is world number 2, is playing in Queens. So in the Queens tournament, so in the Queens Championship, sorry. So I like the way they separated themselves so that we can have, you know, stars on both tournaments. Great to see that. Yannick Sinner did a brilliant one yesterday. He went all the way to 3 sets though, but some of the shots making in the match he played against Drake Sport, amazing. So it's interesting. The build up to Wimbledon is interesting. Big 3 not looking like they're going to make it. No Djokovic, no Rafa Nadal, but the generation after the next generation, which is Yannick Sinner and Carlos Alcaraz, they are more than enough entertainment to carry the tennis world.
It is still the locker room brought to you by Dano Milk. Stay tuned. On the other side, more to come, touch base with Portugal, and there will be France issue, and the Orange guys will be here.
It is cold, though. This is not what I signed up for. My name is cold. I am cold. Nobody does it better. I am cold. I am cold.
Let me see if our people have come.
Hello, Niger.
I don't understand this YouTube thing that we are streaming. How are we doing it? How is this YouTube doing?
When was the last time you checked the label of that product you wanted to buy before you consumed it?
So this is live.
Yeah. Well, it will shock you to know that there is an imposter in town. What do you think you have been consuming?
Eh? Eh? I can't believe I'm dancing to an advert.
Let me see.
This is Paul, and you're listening to Smooth Breakfast.
It is still the locker room on Smooth 98.1, brought to you by Dano Milk and Tega. We're back. Let's get into the conversation.
Somebody had to remind me on YouTube. He said, Tega, yes, you are live. I know. I was dancing to an ad.
All right.
All right.
So
So that's why you should watch YouTube.
that's why.
A lot of things that we forget that is going on air, goes on air. So always watch YouTube. Tell them how they can join on YouTube.
YouTube.com/smooth 981 FM Lagos is the place to be. Padre Pio, we've got the other Obisha Son and all the others. They would also be joining very soon, and you can be part of the family there. But we'll see messages, Tega, before we go on.
Should we just take 2 of those messages?
Let's throw in Tayo. Tayo says, I thought I was the only one that noticed the Sotu PR because he went to a secondary school. If you're lucky, you can get a quick picture with him, but fake news is real. Finidi George better start taking legal steps. And then AY from Oniru would come up with a message and he says, this Victor Osimhen versus Finidi George issue is just giving me a Ten Hag and Jadon Sancho vibes. Moving on to the Euros, Turkey versus Georgia yesterday was the most interesting fixture since the competition started. Both teams played scintillating end-to-end attacking football. Those goals scored by Turkey's Arda Güler and Mulder were absolute screamers.
All right, so we'll take your messages. We can see more messages on WhatsApp, but keep them coming too.
You just send them to 0809-444-0981 will be where we shall be reading that. But let's go over now to Portugal. That's Germany, but connected to Portugal.
Yeah.
Portugal coach Roberto Martinez said young star Francisco Consacho deserves his moment in the limelight after rescuing a 2-1 victory against Czechia, or Czech Republic, on his team in the Euro 2024 opener on Tuesday.
All right, so let's talk about Portugal now. I remember when they hired Roberto Martinez as their coach, I was like, what are people doing? This guy has no tactical brain whatsoever. I kid you not. Again, I'm speaking about Lerner. He's a Lerner driving a very big car.
Right.
That's all I can call him tactically. But some people have Portugal as their favorites, and I understand why. You know, when you look at the plethora of stars that they have, from Bernardo Silva, and I'm not calling Cristiano Ronaldo because that's a given. But Bernardo Silva, Ruben Diaz, yeah, looking at a full pitch with stars all over the pitch, Vitinha. So these are players that Bruno Fernandes, they deliver for their clubs, you know them. And so when you look at that team, they look like they have a well-balanced team, and they can take on many teams and get the results. But they started up their bid to conquer Europe yesterday, and like a lot of the favorites I've seen, they have not been convincing. In fact, I think Czech Republic handled the match better. And I think ultimately, if 1 or 2 refereeing decisions were correct, Portugal would have drawn that match yesterday, not win it. And I'm talking about the particular incident where Semedo fouled the Czech Republic player. Blatant foul, clear foul, like blocking foul, should be a foul and a yellow card. Referee was like, I did not see anything. 3 blind mice. We can't see it here. And then the ball is released to Portugal, and they go to the other end, and that's when they score the winner. So that referee's decision was very impactful. Was a decider. I would say this: the goal from Conceição, brilliant. And I must admit that I'm getting old. Oh, I should have known I was getting old because I've seen Diego Simeone's grandchild, and I saw him play football. So that's how old I am. I saw Diego Osimhen play football. I've seen his son play football, and I'm seeing his grandson. I am that old.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, Conceição is also the son of Conceição, the coach, who I also saw as a footballer. Yes,
Whoa.
played for Portugal.
What a generation of players. Well, but you are not the ancient of this Tega anyway.
No, I'm not the ancient of this, but I've been here a while. So yes, Conceição, the son, Francisco Conceição, not Sergio Conceição, Francisco Conceição, the son, was the one that scored that brilliant winner in the 92nd minute. Again, I'm saying, if referee had done what he was supposed to do, and I saw it earlier in the match, because there was an incident where I think it was Diogo Jota who fouled somebody, and the referee blew for the foul, and then Diogo Jota flipped. Now, according to the rules, it's a straight yellow, no negotiation, no forgiveness, no mercy. It's a straight yellow. But
Yeah.
Cristiano Ronaldo walks up to the referee,
Yeah.
and the referee ends that conversation with a warning to Jota. Yes, no yellow card. I was like, Czech Republic, I've entered one chance. Because now there's a rule that
Only the captain goes
only the
there.
captain can talk to the referee. Yeah.
So that I
So,
remember what you said.
as soon as Ronaldo just walked up to the referee saw a big boy. He just did. He had a conversation. Even after he had the conversation, he was walking away. Jota was still complaining, and then he said, "Your last warning." I was like, because you know the rules.
You know.
That is a straight yellow
Yeah.
every day of the week and twice on Sunday.
Yeah.
But if Cristiano Ronaldo is your captain, it's not a yellow. You can get away with a warning.
Yeah.
So that's when I knew that there's a thing that big teams get away with, and it's not just Portugal. France also got away with some calls on the day. I mean, not decisive calls like yesterday,
Yeah.
but equally some calls. So big teams get away with one of these. But yesterday's one against Portugal was very clear. It was too obvious.
But, in the process, the man got a yellow. He took a yellow for the team after scoring also because it was a big goal. It was a big one for
Don't call him man so that I won't feel bad. It's a boy. Francisco Conceição is a boy. I mean, he can legally vote, but he's a boy.
Shall we? Let's go to France and see. We have a concern if this man may become the next masked man on the pitch when they come out next. France captain Kylian Mbappe is a doubt for his team as Euro 2024 clash with the Netherlands after breaking his nose in the 1-0 win over Austria on Monday. The French Football Federation is saying right now.
Yes, even Didier Deschamps confirmed it. So at first they're saying he's not going to need a surgery, and he was looking for masks. He was.
And Osimhen,
he was
back in
like,
the story.
people should give me mask styles. I want to come out here like it's Fashion Week in Italy. Good morning and good evening. Now they're saying that he may need to have a surgery on the nose. Yeah, but that was that was a nasty one. When you saw Kylian Mbappe lying and rolling around on the floor, you knew he was injured. And then by the time he stood up, he couldn't even play. And normally you've seen some people that they have bloody noses and they continue, but he couldn't even play. He was bleeding all over that shirt. So so now the coach is saying he may require surgery on that broken nose. Very nasty one. He's gotten an apology though. We are so sorry for hitting and breaking your nose, but he was the one that he jumped with somebody and then hit his nose on the person's shoulder. Not much we can do about that.
Yeah.
It's not like the guy could detach his shoulder and run away with it. So tough one, but to miss Kylian Mbappe against the Netherlands. And again, this is another match I'm going to touch on. Like I said, the favorites have not really turned up. And France could not even score their own goal. So you're looking at a team that is struggling to score, and then you're taking one of their most lethal strikers out of that lineup and saying, try and beat the Dutch. Now, the Dutch had their own struggles. They conceded a goal. They scored 2 out of the plethora of chances they had, but at least they scored 2 goals. France did not score their own goal. This one goal that they used to win, they didn't score it by themselves. They had help. So you now take Kylian Mbappe out of that lineup, it becomes a lot tougher. So let's see how this turns out for the French.
All right, let's go over to still with Georgia now. Honor in defeat is rare, but European champions debutant, that's Georgia, will take plenty of heart, admiration, and experience from their 3-0 one loss to Turkey in their opening Group F encounter on Tuesday.
My goodness, the best best match I've seen at the Euros, hands down. There is no close second. The best match. And yes, you look at the result and you think, oh, but it was 3-1. No, that last goal came when Georgia were pressing to get the equalizer, and they almost got it because remember they hit the bar, and then the ball bounced it out, and then they get a corner, and from the corner, they considered the goal, which was literally the last kick of the game. But brilliant performance by Georgia. Is the way they're silky around the ball. You know, you've seen Caracella play, but all the Sheilas and the Villies from Georgia, because all their names are either has a Villy or a Sheila somewhere. And all the Villies and the Sheilas from from Georgia were brilliant. They were silky smooth, the way they touched the ball, the way they caressed it. Even the goal scorer, it was the way when he scored his goal, the goal that the second thing that opportunity that could have given him a second goal was equally more brilliant. It was like finger licking good football. I was like, so they play football like this in Georgia. Brilliant football. Unfortunately, they didn't have the experience to convert that performance into results, because they did get 1 or 2 chances to go ahead, and even when Adagula scored that wonderful goal, they did have the opportunity to even equalize, but they just were unfortunate, and at the end of the day, Turkey ran away, winners. Brilliant goals all around the pitch. I would say this, so we have to have fair play rules in football, because it's unfair that Adagula is also a Real Madrid player. That's not right. That's not right.
Yeah.
UEFA, if you are doing financial fair play, let's do sporting fair play. Because at the end of the day, how can they have Adagula and Mbappe and Vinicius Jr. and Rodrigo on the same team? Yusuf, check it now. Check it.
Let's touch base with the MLS right now, where world champions Argentina get an expanded that's going to Copa America under the way on Thursday, with Lionel Messi looking to add a second continental title in what is almost certainly his final appearance in the tournament.
All right, so at this one, I don't think he has the hunger anymore. I will tell you, look, once he won that World Cup, he's just been strolling around the pitches. Like, I've won World Cup, I've won Copa America, I've won everything there is to win. Nothing people can do to me. I don't know that the hunger is still there. I mean, even for the team, because think about it, they won the Copa America, then they won the World Cup. How do you get the hunger to try and push for another one? So they look a little more relaxed, like they're having fun. Sometimes that could be dangerous, but sometimes, I mean, you're playing the Copa America, it's a completely different kind of competition. They have skill and they have physicality. The aggression I see in Copa America, I'm like, are people fighting with each other? It's not just football we're playing. And so it could be tough. I don't know that they can defend that title successfully, not because they're not good enough, but because I don't think there's much hunger left. But they can certainly make it entertaining. I think they start on Thursday against Canada. So let's see how they perform there. Brilliant that we're going to be having football over the place, from Euros to Copa America. And a lot of people have been asking, oh, why is Copa America being played in the United States of America? First of all, they have the good luck that is Copa America. So whether they play it in South or not, you can still call it Cup of America.
The Americans.
But South America has 10 countries. Really. So now they wanted an expanded tournament for the number one thing you want expanded tournament for in life: more money.
True.
So they wanted more money, and so they've expanded their tournaments to a country that can help them get that more money. And so they've invited 6 other teams to make it even more interesting. So let's see how it works out for Copa America.
Is there a place for the Devils in this bus as we close the locker room? Belgium.
Yes, Belgium. Again, another of some people's favorites, not one of my favorites. But yeah, they lost their first match. And yes, they did have 2 goals cancelled, 1 for offside and 1 for handball. And those decisions were correct. So we can't say if not for the cancelled goals, they would have won. No, the cancelled goals were not legal goals. So they lost this one fair and square. But they're looking for redemption in their next match. But to start on a loss would be really tough, especially as they had to rush to get Kevin De Bruyne fit for this match. And Lukaku was looking to deliver something huge. Unfortunately for him, he couldn't deliver. So tough one for favorites. If you're favorites now, just start crying, because they're coming to collect that tag from you. All right, let's round up with some messages, because your messages are great.
All right, let's see Adewale's thoughts here. Adewale says, well, spot on. There was a foul before the goal. If it was a certain fan base and it's flipped, they would say the match was rigged or scripted.
You proceed with this Messi Ronaldo in 2024. All right, let's hear from Tayo.
And Tayo says Southgate and Martinez should be unemployed after the Euros 2024. I can coach better than both of them. It's called the Ronaldo effect. Others would call it bias from PSG director to Zorro. I'm sure Macron would have FaceTime with him because he's a concerned president.
Yeah, I mean, they tried to get him.
That's all.
That's all on. Let's go to YouTube. Oh, sorry. Tega, don't press spoil. All right. So let's take this message from Padre Pio.
Padre Pio says, great seeing your full face in the studio this morning as against hearing your voice or seeing Expo the other day. As for the NFF, I doubt anything will come of the inquiry. And we see Conville there. Well, thank you. We see your message there. We appreciate you. We just keep it moving.
All right. So we'll talk about, thank you. Thank you for this. Do we have, oh, no, we can't read any messages. It's already 8 minutes past.
Yes.
All right. Sure. So thank you so much for sending your message. Thank you for tuning into Sport 98.1 FM to listen to the locker room. And thank you for sending your messages via WhatsApp and YouTube till I come your way again on Friday. It's bye from me.
And remember, the locker room has been brought to you by Dano Milk.
Oh my goodness. See the time. I was not going to turn off YouTube there.